Nobody gives you insurance in India
Right.
or
Right.
credit,
Right.
but in export it is there. So people do not know. Even when they know, they do not follow the rules. For
Right.
example, one of the rules of ECGC is, if you have taken ECGC insurance, is that if there is a payment default of more within 1 month, you have to report, right? So if we do not report because the buyer is saying I'll pay, then you have violated the ECGC agreement, and then if you go to put a claim, you will not be entertained.
This is something a very touchy topic to any business owner, especially when they're looking to export. There's a lot of fear which comes. You also pointed it out in the beginning of the show, which is, the financial challenges which an Indian exporter faces: payment terms, currency exchange, access to trade finance. You pointed out, you said insurance. I mean, I see, you had told very clearly, right, in our first episode, that there's 14,000 Chinese businesses registered in the US, which is not even an English speaking country, and we have like a few, hundred or few thousand. I am strongly I strongly incline to the fact it's not because there's lack of interest to export from India, but it's that people are scared of the financial issues. They don't know. It is a completely new area they're getting into. So what are some challenges you have seen Indian exporters face, and what do you think they can do about these things?
Yeah, so as I told earlier, that the payment mechanism is a challenge. However, let me tell you something. As I told you that we have an institution called Export Credit Guarantee Corporation in India, which does insurance credit. There is no such institution if you give credit in India. There is no institution which gives you insurance against credit in India. So actually, export is safer. Nobody gives, nobody gives you insurance in India
Right.
or
Right.
credit.
Right.
But in export it is there. So people do not know. Even when they know, they do not follow the rules. For
Right.
example, one of the rules of ECGC is, if you have taken ECGC insurance, is that if there is a payment default of more within 1 month, you have to report, right? So if we do not report because the buyer is saying I'll pay, then you have violated the ECGC agreement, and then if you go to put a claim, you will not be entertained. And then people say, oh, we are not getting claim, but then we are at fault. Then there is another regulation that for every shipment which you make, you should pay the premium. So sometimes we don't make premium payment, and then if you have not made premium payment, then how claim is being sought. So you should know what are the regulations. Go to ECGC office. The officers are very, very cooperative. They are very fine people. I work with them so much. They also take a lot of sessions in our program, and they will help you. They will tell you everything, whatever question you ask, very patiently, because they are worried also. This money is our country's money. Look at what happened to a country like Sri Lanka. The president overnight had to run from the country because they did not have foreign exchange.
Right.
Even to pay 1 day of oil, petrol, or food or medicine.
Right.
So foreign exchange is a very critical capital of a country, and we get foreign exchange through exports.
Right.
So those institutions are there, not to worry. And as I told you earlier, that in US, initially they will be very hesitant to pay you unless you have very strong reference. If you know someone whom they also know, and they put in a word for you that I know this person, then there is a possibility you may get an advance. Otherwise, very difficult, because in first few shipments. In fact, I tell a lot of exporters, a lot of business people, that you negotiate in such a way that you say, look, I am giving you some credit this time, but next time I will not give you. So right in the beginning, you make it clear that, okay, I understand that, John, I understand that you are not very sure I will ship or not, whether it will be quality or not. So I am doing the first shipment. You can, and if you trust me, then second shipment onwards, you will have to make me an advance payment or a letter of credit. In fact, letter of credit is safest.
Right.
Because letter of credit is like an umpire between exporter and importer. It is a balance. Both are secured.
Right.
So that mechanism should be followed. And if you are maintaining quality, and if see, my experience is that particularly in US, if whatever promise you have made, if you are fulfilling, there is no issue. I have known people who are doing business with an American company continuously for last 30 years.
Wow.
Yes, it's going on always. So trust is
Absolutely.
very important factor in exports.
And I'm relatively confident on this. I have some experience working with American clients. Is that what you said is absolutely right. And regarding payments, I will tell you this. I have had to have when it's Indian clients, I've had to have a team to just follow up for payments. I hired a couple of people just to do that. In the US, on invoice date, whatever the agreed upon terms are, I've never had to follow up. An email reminder, not even a call. Sometimes just so nowadays they add you to their Teams or their Slack. You just send them a message and it's done. So I can say from personal experience, this is something which I've noticed. Let's move on and see one more good thing I've seen is if you're a good vendor for. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, their payments are automated. In the
Right.
first episode, I said,
Right.
yeah, in the first episode, I told that we are not adopting IT in our companies in India.
Right.
We are exporting IT. We are not adopting. So
Right.
if you automate it, then there is no need for a reminder.